A few days after the unaccompanied minor facility at Expo Hall shut down, we're now taking a look at where these kids came from and where they went. Fox Antonio's Yami Virgen shows us the top counties in the country for sponsorship, including the top ones right here in Texas.
On March 29th, the facility here at Expo Hall opened. At the height of the wave of unaccompanied minors, over 2,000 were housed here. On Monday, the last of them, just over 600 children, were bussed out to a long-term facility. But before that, thousands of unaccompanied minors between the ages of 13 and 17 were able to be placed with sponsors all over the U.S.
This was always intended to be a 2-month temporary contract. And during the 2 months, reuniting 70% of little over 2,000 kids with their host families throughout the country, I would say is successful.
Fox San Antonio obtained the total number of unaccompanied minors released to sponsors for fiscal year 2021. That's from October until March. Here in Texas, the top 5 counties are Tarrant County with 85 minors, Bexar County with 107 minors, Travis County, which includes the Austin area, with 229 minors, Dallas with 402. And the number 1 county here in Texas, Harris County, with 1,108 unaccompanied minors released in the Metro Houston area to sponsors.
I think among the total unaccompanied children population, about 48% of them are from Guatemala, and around a third, maybe 30% is from Honduras, about 25 to 30% from El Salvador, and some from Mexico.
Zenobia Lay with Houston Immigration Legal Services says 85 to 90% of the kids going to Harris County are from Central American countries. The majority of the children are from Guatemala, and they come from indigenous communities, predominantly Mayan.
In the last year, 2 major hurricanes really devastated, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, particularly Guatemala. Right? And a lot of these indigenous community, their land has been destroyed. The land no longer grow the things that it used to grow. So climate change make it very difficult for them to sustain their life in the community.
And they're traveling all over the country. Los Angeles County, California has received just over 700 children. Miami-Dade, over 300 children. Queens, New York, 290. But other places were a little unexpected. Communities like Montgomery County, Maryland, which has less than 20% Latinos in their county, is one of the top 12 spots in the U.S. that have received the most minors released to sponsors.
We've seen waves of migration come and go over the last 30 plus years. And this most recent wave is just the latest iteration.
Gabriel Albornoz is the vice president of the county council in Montgomery County, Maryland.
We're seeing a significant percentage of children and youth coming in this wave coming from Guatemala. Many of them from indigenous backgrounds.
Albornoz says the Office of Refugee Resettlement has already warned them to expect more than the 300 kids they've already received. And that's not counting the number of kids that probably make it through without coming into contact with Customs and Border Protection.
We do suspect that number is probably higher, and we've been informed that we're going to receive as many as 3,000 students.
And numbers like that are big for any community with the needs that these children have after the trauma Albornoz says many have gone through.
And so we also have a really strong infrastructure here of programs and services with folks that are culturally competent, that have been trained in these areas, and that really embrace this, again, as an asset. And we feel like it's both the moral responsibility, but also the sponsors that they're coming to are our neighbors, they're our residents, they're our constituents. And so we're trying to make this work for as best we can for everyone.
The reunification of kids like these children we have followed for months. Jay from Matamoros to New Orleans to live with his uncle. 4-year-old Kathy from Donna to Chicago, then on to Michigan to then fly to Maryland to meet with her parents. And the Mormon sisters whose parents are still waiting in Matamoros for the U.S. government to allow them to enter while they wait for their asylum appeal. All have a long legal road ahead.
So once they're with a sponsor, that sponsor has agreed to certain things, including making that child available for all immigration court hearings, going through the process, checking in with ICE. It is, there is a lawful process that everybody has to go through to see whether or not they qualify for relief and the ability to stay in the United States.
Category 4 sponsors are still being sought after by the United States. There are 2 agencies that they go through. For more information, you can go to foxsanantonio.com. In Houston, I'm Jamie Virgen, Fox News at 9.